Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're constantly at odds with someone, a colleague, a friend, or even a family member? These rivalries can be exhausting, leaving you feeling trapped in a cycle of competition and conflict. It's tempting to see these people as adversaries, obstacles that must be defeated for you to move forward. But Miyamoto Musashi, one of Japan's greatest swordsmen and strategists, viewed such situations differently. He wrote in the Book of 5 Rings, "Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye." Musashi understood that the key to mastering rivalry wasn't about defeating an opponent, but about seeing beyond the surface and finding a path where both parties could thrive. Today, we'll explore how Musashi's philosophy can help us transform rivals into allies. Rivalry is something almost everyone experiences. It might be with a co-worker who competes for recognition, a friend who undermines you, or a family member who always seems to challenge your achievements. Musashi recognized that rivalry often emerges when people's goals, values, or ambitions conflict. However, he also taught that not all conflicts are inherently negative. Do not waste time idling or thinking after you have set your goals, he wrote. In other words, if we keep our eyes on our goals, we can navigate rivalry without losing focus. However, it's important to distinguish between a rival and a toxic person. A rival is someone whose goals or ambitions may clash with yours, pushing you to grow and strive for more. This type of competition can be healthy if approached with the right mindset. A toxic person, on the other hand, seeks to undermine, manipulate, or harm you, regardless of any goals. Musashi's teachings can help with both, but the strategies differ. With rivals, it's about understanding their perspective and finding common ground. With toxic people, it's about setting boundaries and protecting your energy. So, when you think of someone you've clashed with, ask yourself, are they truly an enemy, or are they someone who, despite their competitive nature, may help you grow? This perspective shift is the first step in turning a rival into an ally. Musashi never engaged in a battle without first studying his opponent. In the Book of 5 Rings, he said, "To know 10,000 things, know one well." He understood that by deeply observing even one aspect of his opponent, he could gain a strategic advantage. In our lives, this means not rushing to react, but taking time to understand those we perceive as rivals. When someone challenges you, perhaps a co-worker who always tries to take credit, or a friend who seems to criticize everything you do, pause and observe. What drives their behavior? Is it insecurity, ambition, or perhaps even admiration? By understanding their motivations, you gain valuable insight into how to respond effectively. For example, let's say a colleague is constantly trying to outshine you. Instead of reacting with frustration, try to understand what motivates them. Maybe they're dealing with their own insecurities or are simply driven to succeed. By understanding this, you might find a way to transform the competition into collaboration, seeing the person not as a threat, but as someone who shares a similar goal. Musashi's insight here shows that the power isn't just in the sword or action, but in understanding the mind behind it. Musashi believed that even in battle, respect was crucial. "Do nothing that is of no use," he wrote, reminding us that senseless hostility or fighting yields no value. Respecting a rival doesn't mean agreeing with everything they do, but acknowledging their strengths and skills creates an environment where collaboration becomes possible. Reflect on someone in your life who challenges you. It might be tempting to see them as an enemy, but if you approach them with respect, you disarm the tension. This act of respect doesn't mean you're conceding. It means you're choosing to see the bigger picture. When you acknowledge their strengths, You're also recognizing that they have something valuable to offer, and this can be the foundation for turning opposition into cooperation. For example, you may have a friend who often seems to criticize your ideas. Instead of taking it personally, see if their feedback has any merit. Respecting their perspective might not only disarm their critical stance, but also open up an opportunity to build a deeper, more supportive relationship. Musashi's philosophy teaches that harmony often lies in recognizing the commonalities between people. Even in the midst of conflict, he believed there was always a thread of shared understanding. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world, he advised. This wisdom encourages us to put aside ego and look for what connects us. In your life, when you encounter a rival, try to identify a shared goal, interest, or value. Maybe you and your colleague are both passionate about the same project or share a commitment to excellence. By focusing on these commonalities, you can transform the rivalry into a partnership. Consider a time when you and someone else were competing for the same goal. By focusing on what you have in common, like a shared vision for the project, you might find that the competition fades and collaboration becomes possible. Musashi's wisdom shows us that finding common ground isn't about giving up your position. It's about expanding the space for both people to succeed. There's immense power in being the first to initiate peace. Musashi believed that true strength came from winning without fighting. In our lives, extending a hand of alliance might mean offering help, suggesting collaboration, or having an open conversation to resolve conflicts. Reaching out isn't always easy. It can feel like you're risking vulnerability, especially if the person has hurt you before. But Musashi's strategy shows that when you take the first step, you turn a potential enemy into a possible ally. You demonstrate courage and leadership, transforming the dynamic of the relationship. Imagine approaching a colleague you've clashed with and suggesting a joint project that plays to both your strengths. You're not only showing that you value their skills, but you're also creating a new opportunity for connection. Musashi's insight here reminds us that the greatest victory isn't defeating others. It's building bridges that lead to growth. Musashi teaches us that life is a journey of continuous growth. Every person we encounter, every rival we face, has the potential to teach us something valuable. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close, and to take a distance view of close things, he advised. This wisdom helps us see the big picture, understanding that even the most challenging relationships have lessons to offer. Reflect on your experiences. How have the people you've clashed with helped you grow? Maybe they pushed you to improve, forced you to see things differently, or even motivated you to be better. When we shift our mindset from seeing others as enemies to potential teachers, we turn conflicts into opportunities for growth. The true victory, as Musashi teaches, isn't in defeating others. It's in overcoming our own limitations and building something greater together. By transforming rivals into allies, we create a pathway for mutual success, leading to progress not just for ourselves, but for all involved. Musashi's approach to rivalry teaches us to look beyond the surface of conflict. It's about understanding motivations, respecting others, finding common ground, and being the first to extend peace. His wisdom is timeless, and when we apply it, we no longer view rivals as threats, but as opportunities for growth. Think about the rivals in your life. Could they become your allies? Musashi's teachings remind us that the ultimate strength isn't in defeating others, but in understanding them and creating partnerships that lead to something greater. By embracing this mindset, you not only transform your relationships, but also elevate your entire approach to life. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery. If you found value in today's episode, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.